So, welcome back to the YouTube. It's been 2 weeks since my last video. Few technical difficulties last week, which meant this leg session had to be a little bit delayed. But we're here, 3 scoops of blood and guts deep, so it's going to be a good session. We've got calves to kick things off, leg extensions, standing hamstring curl, adductor, hack squats. It's going to be, a decent 2 hours of pain. So get your popcorn ready and watch us try and kill ourselves in this session.
Mastermind, ROC, double MG. Jay, I got it. 4 stacks for the hills, I'm a bitch beat. Car seat still smelling like 10 keys. Tell a plug that I'm looking for an increase. Wingstop, fat boy, need a 10-piece. Say a nigga name in the car star. Nigga switching lane.
So, first exercise up, we always start with abs. Now, the last time I dieted, my abs looked decent, but it was the lower abs that I couldn't really see, which made me look a little bit softer than I actually was. So when you're growing, that is the time to progress your abs, try and grow your abs, not just when you're dieting. If you're trying to grow your arms, your legs, your quads, you don't just train them when you're dieting, do you? You train them throughout the entire year, unless you are someone who just diets and doesn't actually try and grow, which I know many people are like that. But if you actually want to progress, train them in your off season, train them in your gaining phase, and that's where you'll see the most progress. So to kick things off, we're going to do hanging leg raises. However, the exercise is slightly amended to prevent any swinging. So what I mean by that is we've got this barbell here. Instead of, for example, this in my back, instead of me actually going back and forth and struggling to stay in the exercise, my back will be fixed, and that way I'll get much more from the abs.
How are you feeling? Is it the same? I hope you're not planning to waste my time. To my surprise, that was her reply. Now we vibe. It's been a while and such a ride, the stars align. I love the fact I didn't let her go. She loves the fact that I just let her know. Now we're together, it's a different mode.
Okay, so as you may have seen in one of my previous videos, I believe it was pull, where I start on arms. On leg day, I'll start on the accessories as well. Reason being, calves, adductors, abs even, if they tend to get left towards the end of the session, what's going to happen is just going to half-ass them, or even worse, just leave them. And I've been guilty of that before in the past. It's not something I want to do going forward. So we'll start on adductors, and then that'll be followed by some calves. Now, something I'm massive on when it comes to coaching my clients is drilling into them how important progressive overload is. Now, I'm not just talking reps, I'm not just talking weights. That is what you want to be aiming for, yes, but improving your form, improving your technique, all these things will contribute to better executed sets. Now, if you can progress the weight and you can progress the sets, awesome. That's what I try and do. But even when you're starting, especially when you're new to the gym, just improving the execution and how you do a movement is still a progression in itself, okay? Through form clip analysis with a lot of my clients, I've seen they actually regress on paper, on their tracking sheets. They actually go backwards in weight, backwards in reps, but they send me those sets they've done, and they're far, far more effective. So don't just take the numbers as your progressions, look at the entire session and exercise as a whole, and that'll give you a better idea of how well you're progressing. So one of the biggest issues I see that holds people back with their training is they don't go into sessions with a plan. Even if they've got a plan, they don't have an idea of what they're going to do on the next exercise, okay? Now, you need to be tracking what you're doing. You need to keep your exercises as consistent as possible. So I've been using this machine now for a couple of months. I know what my working weight is. I know what my second working set weight is. I'm going to work my way up slowly to that working weight, and then I'll begin the set. I'm not just going into the machine and doing that working weight straight away. We will do feeler sets, we will do feeder sets, but ultimately you need to be doing a couple of lower weight sets that are nowhere near failure, below 12 reps ideally, before you start working. And this is something, again, that always comes up with clients. I'll see, they're counting these sets that I'm about to do as their sets on their plan. No, that does not count. The only sets that count, that you're tracking and looking to progress, are the ones that are challenging. Otherwise, you're just doing sets for the sake of it, and you're not going to get any response. Second warm-up set, again, nowhere near failure, nowhere near challenging. It'll become a little bit harder, but I'm not trying to tire myself out here. I'm simply trying to get warmed up, blood in the adductors, get me in the right frame of mind for the sets to come. So yeah, that feels a little bit heavy. There's nowhere near my top working weight. And I'll just pretend that is in my head to prepare me for the actual working sets. The more experienced you are, the less warm-ups you can get away with. So I'll just do 4 or 5 reps and I'll be done. So first working set about to go down. You'll see how I approach it, how I execute it. It's no different to any other exercise. Just because it's a accessory, it doesn't mean I'm going to leave reps in the tank. It doesn't mean I'm going to take it easy. You have to approach every single exercise on your program with as much intensity and accuracy as you possibly can.
Just let her know. Now we're together, it's a different mode. We getting crazy in a different role. We getting crazy in a different role. She likes the fact that I just let her know. We getting crazy in a different role. We getting crazy in a different role.
Calves next up. What I try and do in this exercise is purely just try and cause as much pain as possible. That's how it should be, in my opinion. Like, calves is something that you can just hammer and hammer and hammer. You could probably train them every day, to be honest with you, as in a small muscle group, and they'd still probably recover. But I just find 2 to 3 times a week, I'll sometimes pop them onto the start of my pull session as well, which is like halfway between my first and second leg day of the week. But generally speaking, I'll do 3 sets on here, a straight set, so just like I did downstairs on the adductor, followed by 2 extended sets. One is a rest pause, and one is a drop set. So it's pretty much as much carnage as I can cause as possible. They're still probably not going to grow, because that's what calves are like, but try and put as much blood in them, cause as much pain as possible, and one day they may start to grow a little bit. So as with any exercise, really, you want to go as heavy as possible with as many reps as you can, but a problem a lot of people encounter when it comes to calves is it almost turns into a leg press. And what I mean by that is they'll chuck it on the heaviest weight to look hard, and then basically rather than doing full controlled reps, this is what will be happening, right? And I could do this all day. That's not what we're looking for. You want to control as much ankle flexion as possible, which will vary person to person based on your mobility. And then when you get a full stretch of the calves, your ankles are fully flexed, you just push forward. It's as simple as that. So second set on the calf press, I'll be doing a rest pause. So that is simply a set to failure, lower weight because it's the second set, rest for like 10, 15 seconds, go again to failure, get like 4 to 6 reps, and then I'll also be drop setting it as well. I don't really train like this on any other body part really, but like I said, your calves can take a beating, and I found it works decent, so.
Yeah, look, I was passive aggressiveness. I left him hanging like loose ties is loose ties. Either not, he begging to go or not. Depends on the situation, he going up like inflation. Fuck all the haters that said that he couldn't make it. My brother drowned in the lake, how could all you people mistake it? He fought hard for what he had, murderers holding guns. You worried about all the extras, so water gets in your lungs, like. Ay, how could you do this shit? How could you do this when you know I'm going through this shit? Real shit, G shit, I really do this shit. I ain't about it, but you know I'm walking through this shit. Look, 8 rounds in the 45, it go down. Look, 8 rounds in the 45, it go down. Look, 8 rounds in the 45, it go down. Yeah, 8 rounds in the 45, it go down. Yeah, 8 rounds in the 45, it go down. 8 rounds in the 45, it go down. Yeah.
Next exercise up, single leg hamstring curl. Single leg because I connect a lot better with it. Any muscle group that you struggle to connect with, try and do it unilaterally. If you have the ability to do so, you'll find the connections significantly better, and you're not going to rely on one side more than the other, if that makes sense.
Matter of fact, the only struggle here is how to juggle both. Lucky with the 7s like I'm 00. Cold probably froze, got me thinking it's like 1 below. Iced out, dripping, looking like I'm about to shovel snow. With a corncob pipe and a button nose. Cinderella man, hot struck a pose. Lacing up the gloves, got me feeling like I'm Russell Crowe. threw a uppercut and hit the mother load. Everything gon' work out, and I ain't talking about the muscle tone. They said we on to something, but it's nothing else. We independent, baby, that's one thing you gonna know. Ain't nobody pulling strings, ain't a puppet show. And I never missed the mark, boy, I'm Ruffalo. Throw the whole catalog on shuffle mode. You know I got a couple of these.
So one of the main things you want to make sure you're doing when it comes to the single leg hamstring curl is not overextending at the bottom. You almost want to limit your range of motion, which sounds a bit stupid, but if you overextend the knee at the bottom and go for literally like a couple of percentages of more range, number one, the tension's going to come off the hamstring, and number two, you put an excess stress on the knee. So you don't want to be doing that. It's going to be harder keeping it active and keeping it engaged, but you're going to get a lot more out of it by keeping that tension on the hamstring.
And I never kink the hoes that been flowing through my frontal lobe. I ain't attached to success, man, it come and go. That much I know. Got some ideas brewing like a cup of joe. Labels calling, don't pick up the phone. Like my privacy, that's why I dug them out. Midas with it, everything I touch is gold. Cloverfield, the way our luck is grown. Spider-Man with the dough, boy, everything is coming home. If you don't love it, I don't wanna know. Looking in my eyes, you know I want it though. Got rid of my pride, but there's still a subtle undertone. Got everything I wanted in abundance, yeah, I did it, I done it, and found none of it in my comfort zone. Staring in the mirror like, what's up with bro? Face to face, and I just hope.
So before any compound work, leg press, pendulum squat, squatting pattern, whatever it is, for however long I can remember, I've been doing leg extensions first. The idea behind that is not only to warm up the joints, but also to reduce the amount of load, which is the weights, that I use on my compounds. And you might be thinking, oh, well, I'm trying to get strong, I'm trying to grow muscle, why would I want to use less weight? Weight is one element when it comes to growing. There's a lot more that goes into it than just the weight you use. It's how you use the weight, how many reps, how many sets you do. Weight is one variable. Now, I've had clients in the past say to me, oh, Jack, you know, I'm not doing leg extensions first because I can't squat as much. I can't put 5 plates on the pendulum after it. And at the end of the day, why are you looking to do that? Unless it's just to look hard and ego lift, it makes no sense if your goal is muscle gaining. Yes, strength is a byproduct of having muscle, but we're not just looking to get strong. We're looking to tax the muscle as much as we possibly can. I'm personally doing the same amount of weight on squats that I was last year, and my legs are way bigger. At least I like to think. So don't just look at the weight you're using. Don't just look, oh, I got to be as strong as possible in this exercise. Consider the session as a whole and how you may be able to put exercises in different orders to benefit the grand scheme of things. So something that many of you may or may not be aware of is using lifting straps on the leg extension. Even though we're not doing like any pulling, any rowing, they're simply to keep you locked in the set, keep you stable, ensure that there's nothing putting you off your set other than mechanical failure. Yeah, your muscles failing. So if you're not using these, you're massively missing out because you are going to be limiting how long you can stay within the set due to external factors. So all you need to do is wrap them around the wrist pads, handles, wrist pads, handles, as tight as you can, ensuring that you're stable throughout, and then just lock the fuck in and try and cause as much pain as possible.
To my house cause I wanna be a household name. Only relax when I'm back on the plane. Stewardess is like a new mom. Daddy like the pilot, I don't see him anyway. Household name, baby, who am I to complain? Don't know who I am, but I still find a way. Little bit of fame, it can make me go insane, but I still want the whole shebang, bang. I don't believe in love if it ain't never go through pain. The color is only pretty if it really leave a stain. I measure how much he like me, how tightly she pull my chain. So if I can't breathe, I'm doing the right thing. Dang, give it all to you until I'm drained. I don't know what else is coming, but a lot of overcame. Funny, everyone around me doesn't know my real name, but they wanna make me a household name. Household name. Mommy just called, but I let that ring. Tell her I'm busy, I'm doing my thing. Losing myself and losing my ways for the household name. What'd he do? Where'd he go? I don't know. Everywhere on the globe for the household name. What'd he do? Where'd he go? I don't know.
One thing that I always bang on about to clients who are looking to progress their physique is the importance of filming their sets in the gym. It's not everyone's cup of tea. It takes a lot of courage, a lot of confidence. But ultimately, the ones that do film their sets and ask for feedback and apply that feedback in future sessions progress far, far quicker than the guys that don't. And that is the one real downside to online coaching, is that you can't see what your client's doing in the gym. If you're looking to progress your physique, and you're paying the money for a coach, you're buying all your food shop, you're spending money on supplements, the least you can do is get your tripod out.
Show me your willy!
Put your phone up against your bottle, film yourself doing your sets, get the feedback from your coach or whoever you're working with to help you, and apply that feedback. Unfortunately, a lot of people are afraid to do that and may get scared what other people might say about them or, look at them funny. But ultimately, those people don't care about your progress. Only you care about your progress. So why would you care what others think about what you're doing? The one thing that I think has helped me progress my physique massively over the last couple of years is having a coach and sending him form clips as often as I possibly could. So my former coach, Ethan, shout out Ethan Cav, great coach, analysed my form clips week in, week out, almost daily at one point. And the amount I learned from that and the amount that allowed me to progress my physique paid dividends. And I don't think I would have progressed half as much as I have if it wasn't for that. So get your tripod out, fuck what everyone else thinks, and record your sets and apply the feedback you're given. Okay, so first proper exercise, if you like, of the session, compound lift. We've done abs, calves, single leg hamstring curl, leg extensions, and now the meat and potatoes. So, obviously the quads are warmed up from the previous exercise, so you don't need to do too much warming up as such. It's more so to find, even though we do it every week, the correct foot placement, ensure that the knees are ready for a heavier set, and just get in the zone mentally, yeah? So I've done, two feeder sets already, so I'll do one plate aside, which is like a warm-up, couple of reps, nothing major. Second set, again, 2 plates rather than 1. And now I've done 3 plates. What's on here now, Kyle? Well, I've done that, but I didn't record, so we're recording it now. And the idea behind these sets, they're not to challenge you, they're not to fatigue you, as I mentioned earlier. You don't want to be wasting too much energy on these, because if you do, you're limiting how well you can perform in those actual sets that actually count. I've done 2 reps on this already. I'll do another 2 for the camera, because it don't count unless it was on camera. And this is just getting the groove. And the main take home from these sets is you want to prepare mentally, not just physically, but treat this set, even though it's a warm-up, like it's your hard-working set, like it's your challenging set. Because if you don't, those hard-working sets are going to come around quick and you're not going to be prepared. So treat them like your hard sets, and you should be good to go. And that's it. We're ready to work.
What if I wanted to break? Laugh it all off in your face. What would you do? What if I fell to the floor? Couldn't tell this anymore. What would you do?
So that's how a proper set is done on every muscle group. You take all the peptides, take all the gear, eat all the food, have the best training plan, spend however much money on supplements. Unless you're training like that, you're completely wasting your time. And that's the bottom line. So many people are looking for the next best thing all the time. Just train fucking hard. Put yourself through pain. It'll beat anything else you can take, I promise you. So, last set of the day being the leg press. Now, in terms of foot positioning and where to put your feet, how wide, how low, what I would say is a lot of people are under the impression that you've got to put your feet as narrow and low down as possible to get as much quad engagement. Now, yes, you could argue get more knee flexion, so bend of the knee due to that, but realistically, you will be limiting the amount of weight you can use. So, as I referred to earlier, it's not just about the weight you're using. It's not just about your technique. It's not just about your intensity. It's a combination of all different things that contribute to how much damage you can cause, which is a good thing, yeah? The way I approach things is I used to put my feet really low and try and get as much quad activation as possible. We've done that on the hack squat. We've done that on the leg extension. I'm still looking to get a lot of knee flexion and bend of the knee, but I will place my feet slightly higher, slightly wider apart, and bias a little bit more width in terms of how far away my feet are than a narrower stance, okay? And if you try this, you'll realize, it's a lot more comfortable and effective within your working sets. So here we go.
I'm in the whip with authority, looking like Sky-Bree, she got a body, ayy. And she been calling me daddy lately, want me to put her in Cartiers, and the deserve it. Put in work for the money, she earn it. Give me top every night, lip service. Now I gotta block these, she worth it. I'm out in Abu Dhabi, with a bad look like Sky-Bree, ooh. Right beside me, in the phantom off that yeah. Abu Dhabi, with a bad look like Sky-Bree, ooh. Right beside me, in the phantom off that yeah. Abu Dhabi, with a bad look like Sky-Bree, ooh. Right beside me, in the phantom off that yeah. Abu Dhabi, with a bad bitch look like Sky-Bree, ooh. Right beside me, in the phantom off that yeah. Shorty a dancer with her OnlyFans, got her bands up. She independent, got a land truck, don't need no man, but I'll man up for that, ooh. Put it on camera, she a freak, nothing I can't handle. When I'm pulling up in that phantom, I got a wetter than Niagara. To my dog, I'm with the leash. Ain't no one holding me back, I'm a beast. Showing them all, falling my teeth. None of them with me in these streets, ooh. Sky-Bree hit me in my DMs. I've been trying to meet up and see ya. I can fly you out to Abu Dhabi with a bad bitch look like Sky-Bree.
So as you can see, the approach I have with pretty much all my exercises now is as many continuous reps as possible, okay? Before resting at the top when you're close to failure. Then go again. As you've seen, I did 2 more reps after, not failure, but where I was fatigued and had to have a breather. So that, in my opinion, is the only way to do it. I could have spent another, 20 seconds at the top after that final rep, and again, but at the end of the day, you're basically doing an extended set then, so it's just not worth it and very hard to track. Whew. Man's fucked. Home time. So that's the leg day wrapped up. Me and Kyle are absolutely battered. Finished on the leg press. Took that all the way to failure, just like every other set. If there's one thing to take away from watching us train legs, it's to stay composed. Stay composed in your sets. When it starts to hurt, that's no reason to put the bar down or rack the weight. That's when you need to stay confident in yourself, embrace the pain, and you won't go far wrong. That's why so many people may have decent upper bodies, they're lacking in the leg department, because they panic or they don't trust themselves under a decent load. Stay calm, stay composed, and your legs will grow. So that's a wrap for today. Probably gonna do push next. If anyone's got any suggestions for videos or stuff, pop them in the comments below and we'll get after it. Boom.
Motherfucker, cause the devil is alive. Big guns, big whip. Rich nigga talking big shit.